Good morning and welcome to Coulee Off-Road. I am your host, Brandon Scott. We are going to be paddling / kayaking the Snoqualmie River, the portion between Carnation and Monroe. If you want to buy a book for it, you either have Paddle Routes of Western Washington, which covers just Western Washington and is 50 routes, or you have Paddling Washington, which covers Washington, northern Idaho, one route in Oregon, and some western Montana, and that is 100 routes. In either book, it is going to be Route 17, Lower Snoqualmie Valley, 25 miles, 6 to 7 hours, but we are not going to be doing the entire 25 miles. We're only going to be doing probably 17 to 20 miles, and it is a Class 1 route, so it's going to be almost entirely flat water with some riffles. It is early spring, the 3rd day of April, so the water is low but quick and cold and clear, and the weather today is nice for spring Seattle. Mostly cloudy with some sun peeking through, and the high is going to be about 61. We are ending the day at the High Bridge River Access, part of WDFW State Access. You need a Discovery Pass for that. But we are starting today at the Chinook Bend Natural Area, which is owned by King County, so you don't need any paid pass or anything. It's paid for by King County taxes. And in a second, we'll grab our gear and we'll walk down to the river.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to launch. Phone there. Situate itself in the kayak. And away we go. This is nice. Just myself in my kayak. River's not very deep, but kayak doesn't draw very much. And this is an Intex Challenger K1. Like I said, about $150 on Amazon. And found mine brand new on OfferUp. Mine and Nash's both found on brand new OfferUp, still in packaging, for about 70 bucks, 80 bucks a piece. So really not that bad of an investment. Like I said, a couple weeks ago we did the Snoqualmie River, which is more of a slough, and that was about 20 feet wide and hardly any flow at all, so it was nice and easy for us to trial out and see if we liked it and see if we could do it. And now we're out doing a real river, which means I gotta pay more attention and not run into any sticks or rocks and try and narrate at the same time. They seem to be pretty decently maneuverable, so we should be alright. Ooh. Yeah, it isn't too bad. Let's go between the stick and the rock there. Oh yeah, that's easy. I feel like these are going to drift more than they actually are. This is nice. Like to get practice in this so that eventually, oh, there's an eddy. Caught in that. Oh, that's a big back pull. Eventually I'd like to get comfortable enough in this so I could start fishing from this. Now we're in a quiet stretch. Yeah, you don't see it at the bottom anymore, so you know it's got to be 4, 5, 6 feet deep. Yeah, even going through those shallow riffles, it was probably 8, 9 inches deep, and we only got like 6 inches of draft, so we're pretty good. They do sell a even shorter skeg for river running, but I don't think I'm gonna get it because these aren't very deep anyway. This is nice. Yeah. That was exciting. And I feel like
I didn't realize how big that boulder was.
That rock was, yeah. So you get oh, there's bottom there.
I got look at that bird's nest.
Yeah, I see it, the big one. Yeah, that's why you stay well clear of it. Yep. It's a little unnerving being on it. If you ever cut those trees and cut those logs down, it's a little unnerving being this close to a real river like this. But at the same time, you get used to it after a little bit.
That first current right when we launched, I was nervous
That was
about
quick.
that root that was sitting there.
Yeah, you feel like these are going to drift a lot more, but you can control them pretty well.
Yeah, my boat kept wanting to turn me that way.
Which is nice, yeah. Like even if they go sideways onto the current, you can still push them along. Looks like there's a rock in the middle here. Looks like there's a tree below this rock you might want to get around. Exercise, baby! Rotate a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna turn the GoPro off for a little bit. Couldn't touch the bottom with the paddle, so it's 4 or 5 feet deep at least. Yeah, because I can't really see any rocks down there either. Where the fuck? Oh, the river goes off to the right. Oh. I thought it went off to the left. No, this is just some big back eddy. You see there's another pair of ducks of some sort over there. Loons or mergansers or something. See, it looks like you could stay to the right of this root ball. You just got to be careful you don't go too far. Yeah, I'm going to go to the left, I think. See if we can get any closer to these quacks, these waterfowl, and get any video of them. Or if they take off as soon as we get any closer. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Hanging out. Oh, they started to get a little nervous about us. You can hear them chirping. Mergansers, I'm gonna say, because the females got those red heads and the frills, the frilly feathers on the back of the head. So I think they're mergansers. I'm sure somebody in some future video when this gets popular in 10 years will correct me, but right now, who knows? Pretty sure they're mergansers though. Yeah, because there's another 2 down there. Cool. Alright, now we gotta make this turn. Uh-oh, my knees are starting to fall asleep on me.
Already?
Yeah, they don't last very long. But I'm more comfortable now than I was the other time because I'm not cold yet. Oh, are we in a quiet section? Looks like it. Yeah. Oh, I know where we're coming up to. We're coming up to where the river comes into the road and meets up with the river trail. This is supposed to be a pretty big set of oxbow bends in here. So it is probably going to be pretty quiet. Yeah, try and keep in the big shit from falling in the river. Or it's maybe in a marked property line so people don't come up and go hang out in there. Got maybe a couple of vultures flying up over here. Maybe they're trying to introduce a beaver in there, yeah. Uh-huh, I see it. Maybe...
Restore the area, protect it from eroding any further.
Yeah, probably. Because I bet it looks like it's starting to take big chunks out of whoever owns that section of land. Because look at the size of that cottonwood that got felled by a beaver right there.
Yeah.
That would be a nice little sandbar to hang out on. Yeah. Yeah, I think one of them's a vulture. I don't know what the other one is.
See from Monty Python. I'm not dead. I'm getting better.
No.
No, he's dead. What was that? Nothing. Can you just help me out, buddy?
Dunk. Oh, there we go. The GoPro strap was pushing right on the MOB logo on the back of the hat, and it was starting to dig in, and I fixed it. I'm better now.
Okay.
I mean, you could go through either way. You could go through, you could stay to the left or whatever.
All going out that way?
Yeah. You could shoot through either of those gaps if you wanted to. Because it doesn't look like there's anything behind it immediately, so you could shoot whichever gap you wanted. You're gonna go all the way around? I think I'm gonna shoot this gap. Get some footage for the YouTubes, man!
Gotta give the people what they want.
Which is exciting. You can't just have basic, bland nature shots like everybody else does. You gotta have some excitement and some banter.
You're the one with the GoPro.
I know. We'll have
I'm
to,
the one that's staying safe.
eventually, we'll have to find you a GoPro, because I found a couple of these on OfferUp, like the exact one I'm wearing,
Yeah.
used with all their gear and stuff for like 80 bucks, 90 bucks. So if you wanted to invest in one eventually.
You can just do it right now. I did spend 150 bucks on Amazon stuff yesterday. Most of it for Mom's birthday.
Let's see here. What looks like behind it? Oh yeah, this will be exciting. Oh, that's, oh, no, nope, nope. That log is right there. Nope, nope. Ah, I probably could have made it over that actually. Uh-oh, photographers. We're gonna be doing some fourth wall breaking stuff. Whee!
It's not even that cold out.
No, it's not. Sun came out.
Comfy with the long windows still.
Yep. All right, Nash, look. Oh, God.
Griff.
Yeah, and then the Yeti caught me. That was scary. Oh, that wasn't fun. That spun me hard. Oh, oh, the Eddie's trying to go back up the river. That's why. Oh. My heart dropped into my stomach for a little bit. That was a hard spin.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's a good place to swim.
Mm-hmm. Find all the leeches. So yeah, all this on the right bank for the last couple miles has all been fish and wildlife property, and I'd have to look at the map again to see what the specific lot was called. And sadly, there's no access. There's no river access, as you can tell. I was hoping there was, in case we wanted to cut a few miles off our paddle, but yeah. Huh?
Someone made one right there.
Yeah. I mean, there's no parking access.
Oh, parking access.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it though. Not every access needs to have people access. Not every piece of public land needs to have people access. Because if you do, you're just going to be overrun with people.
Are these all bridge supports?
Looks like it. Probably for electricity though, not for vehicle travel. Because here's another buttress up here.
My first thought was train. I'm like, wait a minute, we're out here.
No, the train's not going to cross the river if it doesn't have to. Look at how I don't know if that's, it almost looks like sandstone of some sort with how wavy it is. That was weird.
It's oxidized.
Yeah, this is probably for some old homestead on one side or the other to get electricity across the valley. Don't know if you can see that with the GoPro, but here comes the river bottom as we're increasing in velocity and the river's widening a little bit. This only has about 4 or 6 inches of draft though, so it's going to take really shallow water for me to start dragging. Even if I do drag, I'm in an inflatable kayak with a really flexible skeg, plastic skeg. So, shouldn't do any harm as long as I don't completely bottom out. As long as there's water, I should be fine. And our blissful silence is interrupted by a little single-seater bush plane. That's alright, at least we're not by an interstate. Sure is pretty though. Sunshine. And that's what this river valley is all about. Dairy and beef cattle, and some cornfields. And hopefully it's a long time before it gets populated and condoized, because most of the Sammamish River Valley is a lost cause by now. So many condos and apartments and all that crap. It's not really wild anymore, but at least the Snoqualmie River Valley is still mostly unspoiled.
North Bend, Snoqualmie, and Carnation are the first three.
You think so? You don't think Snohomish first?
It might also be at once.
Huh?
It might just be all done at once.
Yeah. I'm hoping it doesn't though. This is nice. And
most people want to move to North Bend and Snohomish.
yeah. That's
90s right there.
that's because Snohomish has that stigma still. Stigma I'm talking about is being drugs, methamphetamine and heroin, baby. Western Washington. I'm not saying don't move to Snohomish or Monroe or Carnation. I'm just saying it's a solid 40 minutes from Seattle because you're actually out in the boonies. No, I'm actually comfortable. But yeah, I'm hoping this agriculture valley stays agricultural. Because don't get me wrong, I'm all for wetland restoration and keeping things wild, but I hope I got that flight in shot good. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm all for wetland restoration and making public lands wild, but we still need some place to get our food from. And I haven't seen any large dumping areas or big waste runoffs coming from any of the cattle farms, so why not keep them around? It's good for them. Keeps our economy balanced. Huh? Shit. We'll see how long this pair of waterfowl likes to cruise along with us before they take off too.
Float like a butterfly. Sting like when I make you bleed.
But yeah, in Washington, state law says anything below either high tide or high water mark is technically public land, so all the bank along both sides of the river, if you can find a decent place to pull out, you can hang out on. Just don't go up on top onto the flatlands, because that is private property. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, when we get to a spot where there's a nice sandbank, we can pull off.
wrap birthday gifts tomorrow.
Huh?
Gotta wrap birthday gifts tomorrow.
Gross. I'm probably gonna be editing this video to put on YouTube tomorrow.
I got Mom a new toaster, which is more of a family gift.
Is the toaster that bad?
What?
You better make sure your mom doesn't watch this before her birthday. And the mergansers didn't want to deal with us anymore. Cool.
I was just too busy watching this channel called Yes Theory, where I have to say yes to everything.
That's a terrible idea. Adam Sandler already made a movie about that. And
Jim Carrey.
Huh?
Oh, Jim Carrey. Yes, man.
Oh, I thought it was Adam Sandler. Oops. I thought he did something similar. Yeah, okay. It was Jim Carrey. Yeah, I guess you're right. It was Jim Carrey. Oops.
He also watches Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Lake.
I have no idea what that is.
Other popular YouTubers.
Oh. I just watch tanks and car stuff.
Yeah, I got her a toaster, I got her a garden gnome. And that's it.
Yeah. I think the GoPro might be on a little crooked. Sorry, viewers, I just now realized the GoPro might be on a little crooked, so let's fix that ish. It's fine. It's good enough. Wow, the battery's already almost gone. Smack that all on the floor. Huh?
203.
Yeah, we're coming up to that other spot. I thought we might be able to get access. So yeah, the county recently put in a paved walking, running, biking trail along the Snoqualmie River in this corridor. I'm pretty sure it's just called the Snoqualmie River Trail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was hoping in this area, since that was mostly public land over there and the highway is literally right there at this point, that there'd be a parking area in case we didn't want to do the last couple of miles. But turns out there isn't. This thing doesn't hold that battery very well.
A lot of birds out.
Yeah, it's a warm day.
Yep.
Sounds like swallows and starlings are making a colony in those big oak trees there. Maple trees, same difference.
People feel like a little dry bag for our phones.
Huh?
People feel like a dry bag for our phones.
Yeah, if we start getting on rough water, yeah, but I mean, as long as we don't tip, we're fine.
See the beaver work over here?
Mm-hmm.
Gnawing on them?
Look at all the ferns growing on the backside of that tree.
Those bracken ferns?
I think they're...
Those are the ones that grow on trees, right?
No, bracken ferns are the real... Bracken ferns are the really dainty ones on the ground. The one that grows on trees are called
Licorice.
licorice fern. And that's because they taste... Sometimes they taste like licorice.
Oh, yep, it turned me. I went right to that little maelstrom that turned me.
Got caught in the eddy.
Oh, I didn't even see you.
Eh?
To your right.
Oh. A lone goose. Interesting.
Hey.
Why are we all by ourselves and why are we walking along the riverbank? Must be looking for grub. We're gonna go around this hard bend, so I'm sure the water's gonna quicken. Yep, Washington State Highway 203 between Duval and Carnation. And then you also see people going by occasionally, and that would be the Snoqualmie River Trail. That looks like a tree branch you missed. Ooh, that is a big tree lying on the bottom there. Uh-oh, we got stickage down here. They're trying to keep people off of the gravel bar. Maybe.
Definitely is.
I'm assuming that's what it is. Trying to claim it as private property. I mean, I wouldn't want to camp on that gravel, hang out on that gravel bar anyway. You got highway and the trail right there staring at you. I guess this won't be an exciting portion of the river. So after the first, I don't know, mile and a half, maybe 2 miles of being on the river, it was exciting, it was quick, it was natural with riffles and pools and runs. It has turned into this flat, slow-moving, meandering, ditched and diked and entrenched in between the agricultural plots. But after nearly, or actually, after 5.3 miles almost of being on the river, we're coming up to the first of 3 bridges we'll be going under here. The Northeast 124th Street Bridge, also known as the Blue Bridge, leading into Duval. So we'll be into Duval shortly, which has 2 riverside parks with alternate access if you so choose to use them. One of them is a park and the other one is called Taylor's Landing. We'll be seeing those shortly. Yeah, the breeze is nice. But yeah, this is what the lower reaches of Snoqualmie is like. Meandering, entrenched in its own irrigation dikes, and not a whole ton of current. So you're doing a lot of paddling. Should be pretty obvious about how the Blue Bridge got its name, unless you're colorblind. It's kind of a painted like a sky blue, light blue type color. Oh, look at that, there's a rope swing. There's supposed to be a lot of those along this section of the river for summertime play. But yeah, here we are at the Blue Bridge after 5.5 miles of paddling and a little over 3 hours on the river. Although Nash and I did pull over on one of these tall sandbanks and took about a 40-minute lunch and relaxation before getting back on the river. So I'd say 2.5 hours and 5.5 miles to get to Blue Bridge. And there's a bit of a back eddy here, so we gotta muscle our way through that. This back eddy kind of sucks.
What?
This back eddy kind of sucks. Yeah, I saw that. Somebody went up there and put it up with a chain too. So, huh? Probably some sort of rope cord. Does not look like there is any easy access to the river from the bridge, so it's probably most likely access from summertime boat traffic. We're coming down a nice long straightaway in this normally heavily meandered river. You'll pass a warning no wake zone sign on the right bank, which signals your arrival into Duval and McCormick Park. This large sandy bank up here is Duval Beach. Shortly we'll be going under Duval Bridge. We have been on the river now for a little over 4.5 miles, and we are approaching, or 4.5 hours, and we're approaching the 10-mile mark. That's a bad cross eddy. But yeah, this is Duval Beach and McCormick Park. Don't you touch me. Theoretically, I guess this could be a launching point if you can stand the crowds. Because I bet on nice warm summer weekends when most people are going to be out on boats, this is going to be quite the packed beach. Even now on a cloudy April day, it's packed.
Dog likes this.
Yep, dog's interested. I'm assuming there's some place to park up there on the hill somewhere. There is the town of Duval on our right bank, and the Duval Bridge. Used to have a railroad bridge going over it too, but the railroad on this side of the river is no longer in use, and instead it's the Snoqualmie Valley Bike and Running Trail. Yeah. You don't really realize how high up the bridge is from the river till you go down here.
In that little crevice.
I think it's just the water. I think the pipe is just not steep enough to get the water to flow in one big flow. So as I was saying earlier, we've been on the river 4 hours and 45 minutes, and we are coming up to the 10.2 mile mark, and this is the Duval City Bridge is what I'm going to call it. Relatively recent span. The old span is back there. And a pretty high bridge because this river can really flood hard in the fall November rainstorms.
Yep.
And then down here on the north side of Duval, there's a place called Taylor's Landing, which is mentioned in both those paddling books as an alternate access entry or exit point into the river, and we'll see if we can find it here real quick. Because yeah, you could go use the McCormick Park beach, but I bet that's pretty crowded on weekends. Whereas down here, we'll see if we can't find an actual proper boat launch of some sort at Taylor's Landing.
Parking ride is a little bit behind us now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's parked there. Taylor Landing has a parking lot.
It looks like there should be a, according to the map I'm looking at, there should be a road strip with a turnaround, and then it even says there's a boat ramp here. Yep, I see the parking lot there, and I'm sure those orange flags are to mark trailer only parking or something. Which means the boat launch is probably on the back end of this sign behind this willow tree. Yeah, I see probably hard to see on the GoPro yet, but I see a break in the ditch in the dike. Yep, there it is. So that is the Taylor's Landing boat launch, which is 10.3 miles, river miles, from where we launched at Chinook Bend. And at 4 hours and 45 minutes, take away our 40-minute lunch break, it's a little over 4-hour paddle for 10 miles, almost 10.5 miles of work. And you can see the slow no wake zone to announce the northern limit of City of Duval's riverfront property. Next stop, Pearson Eddy, High Bridge, and here we are at our exit point, just past High Bridge, at the High Bridge State Water Access Site. Nash is just about to make his turn and pull into the boat launch, and that'll be it for us for the day. couple of rope swings right there. We've seen probably about half a dozen of them or so. Kind of hard to beach these things. Why don't you go sideways? Okay, cranky. And let's see if I do better or worse than him.
That leaves you some room too, so you can nudge yourself in there. That was a better idea.
And that's a wrap for today. We covered 17.25 miles from Chinook Bend to here at High Bridge Water Access, and it took us a little over 7 hours, 7 hours and 3 minutes, but not including our 40-minute lunch break, so 6.5 hours to cover 17 miles. That's 3.5, 4 miles an hour, which isn't bad for being on a flat, riffle-free, meandering river. And that's it from Cooley Outdoors today. Like and subscribe. Let me know how we did. Let me know how our commentary was, how the video making was. Tell me how bad my voice sounds, whatever. Just leave something there so YouTube's algorithms figure out this is a real video and it starts spreading around. Have a good one. Ciao.